It gives me immense pleasure to tell all of you that today is the silver jubilee of our Prerana Festival. This is the 25th Prerana Festival conducted by ICC Shri Jagannath Mandir, and it is the 10th Prerana Festival during this Corona lockdown series. So I thank all the participants, the ICC management, as well as the IYF team for their efforts, because without all you devotees and participants, this program could not have reached its 25th Silver Jubilee mark. Hare Krishna. So also I would like to tell that we have this Gita course 3 that is starting from tomorrow, that is 8th of June. So devotees who are interested in attending Gita classes during the weekdays can register for this course. For those of you who are new to this Prerana program, I would like to tell that on every Sunday, we conduct this Prerana program from 6:30 till 8 o'clock, where we have discussion of topics from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam for all youth devotees and participants. Also, we conduct weekdays Gita class. The third batch of our Gita class is going to start on 8th June, that is from tomorrow. So I will be putting the link in the description of the WhatsApp chat group, in which you can join if you are interested in attending the online Gita course from tomorrow onwards. Once again, I would like to thank all the devotees for joining this Prerana program. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce today's topic. So today's topic is already well conveyed to all of you. It is the art of thinking. And today we have with us a very special speaker to enlighten us about this topic. So I would like to introduce to all of you Hareesh Prabhu. Hareesh Prabhu is a former alumnus of NITK Surathkal. He has completed his BTech from Electronics and Communication Engineering in the year 2011. So Prabhuji was working as a senior engineer in Cadence Systems of India up to 2017. Then Prabhuji has also recently filed a patent for his discovery or contribution in the field of temperature IP, temperature sensor IP. So Prabhuji is the founder and CEO of the Arjuna Academy of Achievers, which aims at giving top quality education to the students of our country. Prabhuji has also completed his Bhakti Shastri course, which is a systematic study on Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhuji has his long list of academic achievements. Prabhuji has secured a Karnataka CET rank of 55. He has secured an AIEEE All India rank of 2500 and a state rank of 51. Prabhuji has secured a rank 31st in the prestigious BITSAT examination. Prabhuji was ranked 47 in the Comet K examination. He has secured 3800 rank in the IIT JEE examination, and Prabhuji is All India rank 17 in the Mathematics Olympiad. Apart from this, Prabhuji is a wonderful orator, and he gives many seminars in many prestigious engineering colleges such as NIT Surathkal, IIT Madras, RV College of Engineering, RNSIT, PESIT College, and many more on a regular basis. And Prabhuji is inspiration for all of us youth who are from NIT Surathkal especially. And Prabhuji has been guiding the youth of our country in various ways, especially youth of Bangalore and Surathkal, on career as well as personality development. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we are very happy and fortunate to have you with us. Over to you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, firstly, I would like to thank all the devotees of ISKCON Cultural Center, Kumaraswamy Layout, for this wonderful initiative of having regular Prerana programs, which has been inspiration, motivation, and a boost for many of the youth, especially of Bangalore. During this Corona lockdown, as Kanak Prabhu said, this is the 10th Prerana. They're doing every Sunday, and many are getting inspired. Just for those who are joining for the first time, Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON stands for International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, he always wanted ISKCON not to be just like any ordinary temple where people just go, offer obeisances, take some prasad, charanamrit, and come out. Temple must actually be a seat of learning. Spirituality is a science, and Srila Prabhupada wanted every minute details of the spiritual practices to be understood scientifically, logically, etc., so that one can truly embrace the spiritual practices in his life and benefit himself and the whole world also to whatever capacity he has. Srila Prabhupada received this order of preaching this divine message of the Vedic wisdom to the entire world in the year 1922 when he first met his guru. And right in the first meeting, Srila Prabhupada was told by his guru that you're an young, educated Indian. You should preach this divine message to the entire world. At that time, Srila Prabhupada had a growing family, but he was always constantly thinking on how to spread this divine message to the entire world. And finally, at the grand old age of 69 years, Srila Prabhupada thought that it is high time that I fulfill the words of my Guru. So, all alone, at the age of 69, Srila Prabhupada went to the US in a cargo ship. Cargo ship, you all know, is the ship where people uh, transport luggage or goods, and it is not meant for people to actually commute. So Srila Prabhupada went in the year 1965 at the age of 69 years, all alone, to America. And there he preached this divine message of the Gita to the youngsters of America who were at that time called hippies. And these hippies, they had a slogan that their slogan was, all right, just a minute, there's some background noise, I think. So Srila Prabhupada went and preached this message first to the youngsters of young youth of America who were called hippies. And the hippies had a slogan saying, "Don't trust anybody who's beyond 30 years because they do not understand the feelings of a youngster." And they were into drugs and different sorts of dangerous addictions. And Srila Prabhupada, with the message of Bhagavad Gita, not only made them give up their bad habits, but also made them appreciate our Vedic culture and our spiritual practices. And not just that, these disciples of Srila Prabhupada today are transforming millions and millions of youngsters. So this is Srila Prabhupada's divine contribution, special contribution to the whole world. We all have heard about Swami Vivekananda in our textbooks. He was able to bring one lady disciple from the US after his famous speech in Chicago, Sister Nivedita. And Srila Prabhupada brought thousands of such Niveditas into India and gave such wonderful people to the whole world. And many of us are taking benefits. So today in this seminar, whatever good things I'll be sharing, the credit goes to all the seniors who have been guiding us in various walks of life. And if you find anything not so good, please accept it as my own deficiency and forgive me for the same. So today's topic is a very, very interesting one. Art of thinking win-win. So what all things will we be covering in today's seminar? Mainly we'll be talking on four aspects. First is what is spiritual world, what is material world, the difference between both, and what are the attributes, what is the consciousness of people in the material world and in the spiritual world. Then the second part is we will also be seeing in our day-to-day dealings what are the common paradigms in which we interact, and those four paradigms which are mentioned in the third point, we'll elaborate that: win-win, win-lose, lose-win, and lose-lose. and we'll also take some nice stories from the wisdom literature on many of these aspects. And towards the end, we'll see how win-win kind of thinking is the most convenient one. And in order to have this win-win kind of relationship in our life, what are things that we need to work upon so that the relationship will always be of win-win category. So first point, before we even talk about the characteristics of the spiritual world, first of all, we should know what is material world and what is the spiritual world. In the Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, any of you know what is the first shloka of the 15th chapter? If somebody has memorized the Bhagavad Gita, anyone would like to try? Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, the first shloka, he says, Urdhva Moolam Adashaka. That is how the 15th chapter begins. So Lord Krishna says that this world, which is the world where we are currently living in, the material world, it is like an upside down banyan tree. Yes, now a question to all of you students. Where can we see an upside down banyan tree in the real world? Have you ever seen an upside down banyan tree in this real world? We have seen that in one place, which is the the reflection in water, right? A tree in this world, all trees are erect, yes, but in the reflection of a lake, yes, you will see that the banyan tree appears to be upside down. So the Bhagavad Gita says this world is like the reflection. Some of you might have heard this common song in Hindi. Sometimes in your childhood, your parents might have sung this to put you to sleep also. Achal ke tujhe mele ke chalo ekaisi gagan ki tale, where it is said that the mother is promising, my dear child, I will take you to such a place where jahan gam bina gam asu bina ho bas pyar hi pyar bare, means that place is a place where there's only happiness, there is no suffering at all, like that. So one may be wondering, where is that place? I've not seen that place. Yes, the scriptures say that place is called the spiritual world, and this place where we are currently residing is the material world. And in this place is a promise of happiness, but you will see that the happiness is always like a post dated check. Many of us in our student life might have had this experience also. Our parents would have told us that you do your 10th standard well, and then your whole life is secure. And then they say 2 more years, and then your life is secure. And then 4 more years, and then your life is secure. Once you get a good job, then you will be peaceful. So we see in this world, there is a post-dated check for happiness, but we really don't get permanent happiness, or happiness comes for a minute and then again there is suffering. Many a times we see that this world is characterized by lot of suffering, and for a certain time, if that suffering is not there, we wrongly think that I am very, very happy. Just like the moment the exams are over, all the kids are happy. But there is nothing to be happy about that. It is just some absence of misery for a short period of time. So that is the material world, where just like if you try to dive into the river and try to taste the mangoes which are there in the reflection, one will never be able to get the mango. The real mango is on the tree. Same way, the spiritual world is characterized by perfection. And the beauty of this is every religion talks about the same attributes of spiritual world, whether it is Quran, whether it is Bible, whether it is the Gita. They all say that the goal of a human being is to live his life in such a way that towards the end of this life, he is transported to the spiritual world. In Christianity, that spiritual world is called Kingdom of God. In our Sanatan Dharma, we call it as Vaikunta. In Quran, they call it as paradise. But nonetheless, all religions, their goal is one and the same. That let us live our life in such a way to go to that world of perfection, which is the spiritual world. And now we will see what are the characteristics of the spiritual world and what are the characteristics of material world. and how do we try to live our life in this material world while focusing on going back to the spiritual world also. So the spiritual world is characterized by complement and cooperate. So in spiritual world, there is no competition. Rather, everyone complements each other. There is cooperation. There is no fights in the spiritual world. And classic example for that is the first point, which is Lord Shiva's family. If you look at the picture, right, look at Lord Shiva's family. What is so strange is, like when I teach physics, sometimes I ask our students, how are two protons happily staying together? In Because they repel each other generally, but they're staying together. But look at this, Lord Shiva's family. You look at who are all staying together. Lord Shiva's Vahana is the bull or the cow, and Parvati, Mother Goddess Parvati's Vahana is the tiger. And tiger and bull, they don't gel together, and they are there in the same family. And Lord Shiva on his neck has a snake, and his own son Kartikeya, his Vahana is the peacock. And peacock and snake, we all know that they are also not, they don't gel together. Yes. And Lord Shiva's other son Ganesh, the Vahana of Ganesh is my mouse, or a rat, you can say. Yes. And you know that rat and snake, the snake always looks at rat as its prey. Now, how are these people happily staying together? Yes, Umesh has raised his hand. Anything you would like to? This one? Yes. So yes, how are these people able to stay together? The reason is because all these people are bound by one common thing, which is the love and affection for Lord. Why? Because Lord Shiva, all of us know the Vishnu Sahasranam. Parvati is asking Shiva, Keno Paye na Laguna Vishnor Nama Sahasrakam. So she's asking, oh my dear Lord Shiva, I am seeing that you are always chanting some names with your Rudrakshamala. May I know whose names you are constantly reciting? Because I have heard that the 1,000 names of Vishnu is the supreme most of all. May I know whose names are you chanting, my dear Lord? That's what Parvati asked. And what does Lord Shiva reply in response to her question? The famous Vishnu Sahasranam shlok. Towards the end, we sing this shloka. We say, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Shri Rama Nama Varanane. So what Lord Shiva is saying is, oh my dear Parvati, I am chanting those names of Lord Ram, Rama 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 Iti. These three names of Lord, Rame Rame Manorame. They are giving me so much of happiness and bliss. And please remember, Sahasranama Tattulyam. These three names of Lord Ram is equivalent to the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, and this is what Shiva says. So how is this family able to be together? Because they're all centered around God. We all know this common experience we have. If you throw a pebble inside water and then you throw another pebble at some other position, you will see that the two ripples will collide with each other, and they undergo something called partially destructive interference or destructive interference. The ripples stop propagating after a certain distance. Yes, but if we all throw the stone at the same point, you will see that the ripples will propagate farther and farther with higher energy. So this is what happens in family of Lord Shiva, because everyone is centered around God, around pleasing God, and not with their egos in center. They're all able to stay together happily. Therefore, we have this famous saying, a family that prays together stays together, and a family that dines together shines together, and a family that sings together clings together, and a family that dances together, not in disco theaters, but in the temple of the Lord, a family that dances together advances together. So you will see that the entire family of Lord Shiva, they happily are able to cooperate without any animosity and fights because they are centered around God. In the same way, in our lives, if we want to have genuine friendship, genuine loving relationships, we have to base our relationships on a common higher principle, which is at the topmost principle is whether that kind of activity is going to be beneficial to this person and is it going to be pleasing to Lord. So these are the two parameters with which every action in our relationship should be done. So that is about Lord Shiva's family. Next, if you look at Vrindavan, Vrindavan, all of us know, is the birthplace of Krishna. And what is the atmosphere at Vrindavan? There is no competition. Rather, everyone is trying to complement each other. When it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Krishna goes to herd the cows in the daytime, generally the sun doesn't appear very scorching because the sun wants to please the Lord and his devotees and it isn't shining too brightly. But sometimes in Vrindavan, the sun suddenly starts shining very brightly. And why is it? Because the sun feels that if I shine and if I shine a little brightly, then many others can also render their service to Lord. And the moment the others see that the sun is shining brightly, they all start thinking, how can we serve the Lord? The wind starts thinking, oh my God, it's scorching heat. Let me serve Lord Krishna by uh, by sending a cool puff of air. And when the wind is about to go towards Krishna, the river Yamuna, it is said in spiritual world, everything, whether it is water, land, etc., all have consciousness. Yes, so it is not that they are dead. So the river Yamuna, that is why even in India you will see in Vedic culture we say Bharat Mata, we say Yamuna Devi, Ganga Mai, yes, which means they are personalities. That is a subject matter of research for all the future scientists to prove how all of these also are having symptoms of consciousness or living are also having some symptoms of consciousness. Yes. So coming back, so when the Yamuna thinks, oh my God, Krishna is feeling this hot, scorching sun heat. So when the wind is going to touch the body of Krishna, the Yamuna says, please take some water droplets from me also, so that Krishna will get a nice sprinkle kind of shower, and he can feel much relieved and from the fatigue. And then when the Yamuna water droplets are picked up, there are the flowers which talk and they say, please carry our fragrance also, so that all the devotees, they all can be refreshed with this fragrant breeze that way. So in this way, everybody is trying to complement each other. So this is what happens in the spiritual world. There is no competition. Rather, they're all trying to complement each other. And the clouds think, all right, let me cover the sun for some time so that Krishna will not be very fatigued. And this, when the Krishna starts playing his flute, it is said the clouds start coming nearer to Krishna because they are also eager to hear the flute sound of Krishna. In this way, they cover the sun and they slowly drop droplets of water. So this way, everyone is cooperating, complementing with each other, trying to serve the Supreme Lord. And then when many fragrant flowers, they all try to offer their services to Lord. But when they see Tulasi, which is not such a fragrant flower, but realizing the devotion that Tulasi has towards Lord Krishna, they first give Tulasi the way and they say, you are the first person to serve Krishna. So there is no feeling that, oh, after all, what are you? You're not a fragrant flower. Look at my fragrance. Just get out. You can't serve Krishna. That's not the way. Everyone understands that each one is unique and each one's devotion is respected, and they all give way to Tulasi. Same way it is said in the spiritual world, there are many, many melodious singing birds like cuckoos and chakravakas, etc. And when all of them are singing, But finally, when the bumblebee starts singing the glories of Lord, all of them keep quiet because they realize that the bumblebee also has tremendous devotion. Let us all hear his singing of God's names. So this is spiritual world's atmosphere where there is only no competition and everyone compliments each other. In fact, in spiritual world, the way people work, Srila Prabhupada used to say, is everyone tries to be the best, not for their own glorification. Rather, everyone tries to be the best in order to inspire others to do better than them so that they can please the Lord even more than themselves. So that's the competition. I want to be the best. Why? So that by me trying to give my best, that will inspire all others to do even better than me. And in the end, I don't want to be in the first position. I want others to outdo myself. So that is the spiritual world consciousness. Why everyone in the spiritual world are of this mentality? Because they know that Lord doesn't accept what we offer alone, but he accepts the intent with which we offer. In fact, the Lord is called self-satisfied. That means the Lord doesn't need anything from us. King. But what is Lord hungry for? Although he is fully self-satisfied, the Lord is hungry to experience the love and devotion of his devotees. A common example which Srila Prabhupada would give is just like our children on their parents' birthday may want to gift something to the parents. So they may ask the parent, Mama, can you give me 500 rupees? Then they may go to the shop and purchase a gift for 250 rupees and then pack it nicely, wrap it nicely, and another 50 rupees is spent on that. And 200 rupees they may buy some chat or they may have some ice cream, chocolates, etc. And then they may come back to the mother and say, Mama, happy birthday, I love you, Mama. And what do you think the mother is going to do? The mother is not going to slap him and say, you thief, you took 500 rupees and you just brought a gift worth 300 rupees. You have no love. No, the mother is not going to do that. And the mother, although that nothing belongs to the child, everything belongs to the mother, but still the mother is very happy. She's not saying, hey, my money you have taken and you have gifted me. What is so great in that? No, because the mother sees that behind all these activities is one thing, which is the love that the child wanted to express towards the mother. Same way, if mother who is herself not as complete as the Lord is satisfied with a tiny offering of her child, Lord who is complete and doesn't need anything from us, he naturally looks at our devotion and not the quantity in which we offer. Of course, it doesn't mean that if we have lots, we don't offer a lot. But just like Hanuman in Ramayana was throwing big boulders, and at that time he saw a squirrel. Squirrel was putting some small particles to build a bridge for Lord Ram. That time Hanuman said, "Hey, squirrel, move away." And that time Lord Ram said, for me, both your service and the service of the squirrel is one and the same, because he is doing as per his capacity and you are doing as per your capacity. So that is the nature of the spiritual world, where everyone tries to there's no envy, there's only service mentality, and nobody feels inferior, superior, because all of them know that everyone is trying to serve as per their own God given capacity. There is only seva vritti, means service attitude, no boga vritti or enjoyership mentality. And in this world, also, you will see, interestingly, to the degree we have service attitude, to that degree we become happy. To the degree we have enjoyership mentality, we all actually get frustrated. Like one example which one of our senior devotees was explaining to us was that once it so happened that when they wanted to garland the Lord, they had brought a fragrant flower garland for the Lord, and it so happened that there was a worm which was stuck to the garland, and the pujaris did not notice it. So the garland was there on the body of the Lord, and the worm was getting two kinds of benefits. One is it was getting the punya of being so close to the vigraha of the Lord because it was just touching the body of the Lord, and it was also able to smell the fragrance of the flower garland. And at that time, when the pujaris started bringing some food offerings to be offered to the Lord, the worm's attention went on the food particles, and it started slipping away from the garland and trying to uh, go nearer to the food offerings. And the moment it left the garland and started going towards the food offering, what happened was the worm was noticed by the pujari. And then what happened? The worm was caught, thrown out of the temple hall. So in this uh, in the small incident, what we can see what is evident is, to the degree we have an enjoyership mentality, to that degree we will only suffer, just like this worm. And in our lives we can see also, to the degree we do not have any expectation or enjoyership mentality, if you get something we will be satisfied. But to the degree we have a lot of expectations, even if everything happens in the world but one small thing doesn't happen the way we want it, we will be very frustrated in life. Yes. So this is about the spiritual world. And what about the material world? The material world is completely the opposite. Yes. You will see that the material world, yes, is characterized by selfishness, cutthroat competition, struggle for existence, envy, hatred, desire to lord it over others, conquer over others, etc. In the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells the entire chapter is dedicated to describing what are demoniac qualities, what are divine qualities. And some of the attributes which Krishna says are demoniac qualities is, the demoniac person is never satisfied with whatever he has. He's thinking, today I have 1 million, tomorrow I will make it 2 million, and in 5 years I'll make it 5 million. Then I'll be the strongest. Nobody else can conquer over me. And in case I see somebody else outdoing me, then I will ensure that I cut him off by foul means or fair means, because I want to be the supreme enjoyer that way. Like Hiranyakashipu is a classic example of a person who belonged to this kind of nature. The whole world was surrendering to Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu wasn't happy with that, because there was one small child, his own child, 5-year-old child, Prahalad Maharaj, who said, I will not chant Namo Hiranyakashipuve Namaha. Hiranyakashipuve Namaha. Rather, I'll say Om Namo Narayanaya. So, although Hiranyakashipu had all the three worlds at his disposal, all the demigods were serving him. Like all of us have an air conditioner or AC or a cooler in our house. So whenever we want, we can control the temperature of the room. But what was Hiranyakashipu's controllership like? He just needed to raise his eyebrow, and then the entire devatas would understand, oh my god, Hiranyakashipu doesn't want this temperature. So all the devatas would adjust the environmental conditions just to make Hiranyakashipu happy. So he had just his eyebrow was the remote, and that remote was enough to change the environmental condition around the entire environment. So this was Hiranyakashipu's controllership mentality. Imagine with this much controllership, this much of things at his disposal, one would have expected that he actually be very happy. But that is the nature of this world. The more we have, the more we think I need, and the more we become upset when things don't go as per our plans. And that's what happened to Hiranyakashipu. His son Prahalad said, you are getting your Shakti from the Supreme Lord, from whom every one of us are also getting the same Shakti, and he just could not tolerate it. So that is demoniac nature. And in this material world, the other characteristic is struggle for existence. Uh, every living entity is trying to compete with another and trying to overpower another in order to survive in this world, right? In a lake, you will see the small fishes are trying to eat the worms, and the worms are trying to eat algae and others, and the big fishes are trying to eat the small fishes, and the human being is trying to control all of them, like that. So you'll see each one is trying to control another. There is struggle for existence, and therefore there is a lot of competition. Yes, and there is envy, there is hatred. We all know this famous saying, owner's pride is neighbor's envy. Or you can say neighbor's envy is owner's pride. Sometimes some people purchase things just so that the other fellow feels envious, like that. So there is a nice uh, uh, funny statement which some of our devotees say. People in this world use people in this world spend the money that they have not earned to buy the things that they do not want to impress the people whom they do not like. So this is the nature of this world. We try to buy things from the money that we have not earned. Why is it? Because we have credit card. I do not have that much account, I mean that much balance in my account, but I try to buy things with the money that I haven't earned. For what? For buying things that I do not need really. And why do I do that? Just to impress the people whom I don't like. I just want to show off to others, like that. So sometimes you will see some kind of people. This is the kind of uh, attitude towards life they have, characterized by envy, hatred. Yes, the scriptures say there are four categories of people. One is called Para Sukha Sukhi, the other is called Para Sukha Dukhi, then Para Dukkha Sukhi, and Para Dukkha Dukhi. So, Para Sukha Dukhi means what? When others are in trouble, I feel very happy. So uh, that is called para dukkha sukhi. If the others are in dukkha, I feel very very happy. And there are some others who are para sukha dukhi. So if others are happy, then I feel sad. Like for example, one person uh, got second rank and he was very happy. I mean very upset. And why? Because he saw that his friend had got the first rank. So he is called para sukha dukhi. Because the other fellow has got first rank, he is very sad, although he has got second rank. And believe me, there are enough cases in this world where people have committed suicide just for becoming rank 2. So this is material world characterized by envy, hatred, uh, desiring to always be in a prestigious position, wanting to be the supremely popular person, etc. Right now, and desire to lord it over others and conquer over others. Like Mughals tried to conquer India, and after Mughals, then the Europeans tried conquered India. Then once the British went away, China tried to conquer India. Then Japanese tried first, then China, then Pakistan tried. Right. So this is the nature of this world. Everyone tries to lord it over, conquer over others. In fact, sometimes we fight over land which is not suitable for habitation also. Srila Prabhupada, when the Chinese were attacking the Indians, he wrote, look at this pathetic condition. China and India are fighting over a land where nobody can even reside. It's not even suitable for habitation, but both are fighting wars. And this is because of the material conception of life. That's it. So material world is a place of cutthroat competition. Now, our most important thing is in this world where there is cutthroat competition, how should I live my life in order to survive, in order to maintain my life and flourish also, both materially and spiritually. So there, the scriptures say the most conducive way in which one can live is in the mode of goodness or sattva guna. And what is this sattva guna? Sattva guna is characterized by sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Let everyone in this world be happy. Yes, live and let live. In fact, Ishopanishad begins with this shloka. Some of you might have heard this also. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. And what does that say? That says, please remember, the Lord is completely perfect. And because the Lord is completely perfect, anything that emanates from Him is also completely perfect, which means this world where we are living in is also completely perfect and it has enough things to satisfy everyone's needs. Therefore, we have heard this famous statement of Gandhi, there is enough in this world to satisfy every man's need, but the earth doesn't have enough to satisfy even one man's greed, right? So, in this world, why we should not unnecessarily try to feel insecure? Because we should first understand that this world is created by a completely perfect being. being. That means that completely perfect being has kept everybody, whatever is his requirement, that quota is available for everybody. Yes. And if I just take my share of quota without disturbing others, none of them will fall into scarcity. These are the first shlokas of Ishopanishad. The first shloka is saying how everything is complete, and then in the Ishopanishad it is said, you just take your quota, allotted quota, don't snatch on others' quota, and then the whole world can be happy. There is no need of any quarrels, any feeling of insecurity, insufficiency, all that need not happen. And you will see in animal life, this is the common way how animals live. If you keep a bag full of grains, you will not see a pigeon taking and storing things. It will just eat whatever is its capacity and leave it for others to eat. But the human being doesn't do that. Although he may first take things needed for his today's cooking, he's not going to be satisfied. He will take the whole thing and go away, right? So this is what is our human nature generally. And the scriptures say, go beyond that, come to Sattva Guna, have faith that everything in this world created by God is perfect, and it has and there is abundance available for everybody. So that is called a broad-minded approach. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. And you will see that if we see the whole world as our family, it's a very easy way to be happy, because in this world, at any point of time, we can always find somebody in this world happy. So if we see that he is also one of our family members, just by seeing his happiness, one will also feel happy. Yes. And so this is what the scriptures say. Come to Sattva Guna way of living. Try to go broad-minded. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Certainly in this world, there is a lot of cutthroat competition. Like, you know, that the tiger and the deer. Don't think that it is only deer that is in danger. The tiger is also in severe danger, because the tiger the tiger knows, if I don't catch the deer, I'm not going to get my food. And the deer runs as fast as the tiger, sometimes more faster also. That doesn't happen to us. Imagine you have a plate and the plate starts running faster than you. You'll be in a lot of anxiety, right? Because then that's too much struggle for existence. In fact, you will see that in the animal life, there is more struggle for existence than the human life. In human life, we don't have to run to catch our prey. Rather, once the food is made, it will remain on the plate. There is no that much struggle for existence, right? And similarly for sleeping, when we sleep, nobody wakes us up. But when the dog is sleeping in the night, suddenly some vehicles may come and horn, and the dog has to wake up, or somebody may throw a stone. Yes. In our sleep, there is no so much of struggle for existence. So God has designed this human life in a much, much simpler fashion, with reduced struggle for existence, so that with peace of mind, he can do something productive on the spiritual platform. But when we don't focus on spiritual things, and when we only look at like the animals, thinking only about, see, the difference between animals and humans is, many times students say, sir, human beings can think. Animals don't have thinking capacity. No, animals also think. Some of our students may say, sir, human beings have scientific approach, they have technology. But please remember, animals also have a lot of science and technology. If you look at how a spider is building its spider web, right? Unless the spider knows enough physics on how to keep each and every joint in equilibrium, the spider will not be able to construct a web by itself so perfectly, yes, and stably. So that means the spider, whether has gone to MIT and got a degree or not, God has given him also some intelligence and scientific things, like the honeybees. Even even people today know the honeybees are best known for having colonies. It is not that they've gone to an IIM institute, got a 4-year degree, and then they have learned it. So the animals also have thinking capacity. The animals also have scientific approach. They also have managerial skills in their own fashion. So then what is the difference between a human being and an animal? The scriptures, the Mahabharata says the difference between both is an animal can only think and use his scientific technology, etc., to see how to eat, how to sleep, how to mate, and how to defend. So these are the only four things that the animal can think about: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But a human being can think beyond that. Who am I? What is the purpose of my life? What is this world meant for? What happens to me after death? Why am I suffering? Is there a place where there will only be happiness? So these are things which a human being can think, but an animal cannot. Now, why did I bring out this point? Lord has made our human life with certain amount of struggle for existence, but much lesser than that what is needed for animals. But if we do not focus on higher things, and if we only stoop down to the animal-like consciousness of only trying to eat in a better way, sleep in a better way, mate in a better way, and defend in a better way, we will see the same struggle for existence will start coming into our lives also. Like when I was working with Cadence, uh, my company, my manager was telling me how true it is that if one doesn't follow the Vedic way of life, of being satisfied, one will never be happy. And he was giving his own example out of his humility. He said, see, I am earning around 20 lakhs. My wife is also going for a job. She's earning around 10 lakhs. And we have a big bungalow. So we are earning around 30 lakhs in a year. But the problem is, both of us are not available at home because we are constantly in the office. Or even if we are at home, I'm not able to even, my wife is not even able to cook for me. And then the maid servant comes and does all that. And when we are at office, although we have built a huge bungalow with all big TV screens and other facilities, none of us are able to enjoy it. Rather, the maid servant who hasn't studied anything, she's the one who's taking all the facilities. So this is what happens. To the degree we try to go on enjoying, the world is organized in such a way that we begin to struggle to satisfy our basic needs also. Yes, so that's how this world is created. So now, in such a world, how should we live? There are four paradigms with which one can one can interact. One, which is not a very conducive one, is a win-lose kind of paradigm. Win-lose means I want to be the winner and I don't want anybody else to win, and I want to dominate over others. And I cannot see two successful people. Yes, and this is more or less the common mentality when it comes to athletics, when it comes to academics, etc. And and what is the disadvantage with win-lose mentality? In this world, when we are working in that paradigm, I don't care whether you win or not. I just want to be a winner. Two things happen. The first thing is we lose relationship. And if you ask, sir, what if relationship is lost? How is it going to affect me? Because at the end of the day, unless we have some relationship to share our love with all the commodities in the world, one can never be happy. So we need relationships. And the second thing, what will happen is, why we need relationships in this world is, we are not completely independent. All of us are interdependent by nature. I am not perfect. I need somebody else help for some other thing. Now, if I'm always working on a win-lose mentality, I'll start creating enemies for myself. And eventually, when I'm in desperate situation needing help, there will be nobody to help me. Yes. And that's what happened to Hiranyakashipu. He started creating enemies. All were praying, when is the time when he'll be destroyed? Same with Duryodhan. Duryodhan was always thinking how I can benefit, whether the other fellow benefits or not. So Shalya, if you read in the Mahabharata, Shalya was the king of Madras province, and he actually wanted to come to Kurukshetra to support the Pandavas in the battle. But when he was traveling, he once needed some resting place, and he found some very luxurious arrangements made for him. And then he thanked the person and he said, I'm eternally grateful to whoever has given me this arrangements. I'm indebted to him. And the moment he made this statement, Duryodhan took advantage of that. And he said, I am the one who gave you all these arrangements. So I want you to fight on our behalf against the Pandavas. But he said, no, actually, I'm very close to Pandavas. I'm coming to help the Pandavas here. But Duryodhan forcibly took Shalya and said, you have to, I don't care whether you are happy or not. You will have to satisfy me. And what was the end? Shalya had that vengeance within his heart. And he said, at the right time, I'm going to teach him a lesson. And he never cooperated in the battle. And just like Karna requested Shalya that I want you to be the charioteer of my charioteer, because Krishna is the charioteer of Arjuna, and I want a very competent person like Krishna to be my charioteer. And throughout the battle, you'll see Shalya constantly discouraging Karna. Constantly, Karna got discouraged and he was lamenting, why did I ever choose Shalya? And why did this all happen? Why did he not help Duryodhan at the time of his need? Because Duryodhan was operating on this win-lose mentality. I don't care whether you're happy, but you have to satisfy me. And such people at that moment, because they may be overpowered or they may be forced, they may try to satisfy the person, but internally they'll be waiting for a right moment where they can actually cause trouble. So therefore, this is not a very, very healthy platform at all to be operating. Yes, two reasons: because we need relationship, because love and relationship is what we are looking for, not commodities alone. And second is we are interdependent, and at any moment when we need help, if we had operated or had a relationship on this model, there is no way that we will get help from such a person. So that is the first paradigm where many people try to operate, and it's not a very healthy one, win-lose paradigm. And the second one is called lose-win mentality. And what is this lose-win mentality? So this is the first one is also called authoritative approach, that I try to boss around people. I don't care. Yes, sometimes you'll see in companies also, some CEOs or other boss and all, they say, I don't care whether you're happy or not, you'll have to work means you'll have to work. And you have to get this project done. I'm not worried whether your health goes bad, your family suffers, you're not able to balance everything. That's all none of my business, like that. The second paradigm is an accommodative or too much passive kind of approach, which is called lose-win. I don't mind whether I lose. I always want you to win. Now, is this a good one? Externally, it may look like it's good, but actually, this is also not a very good way to operate in this world. Sometimes you'll see some very, very mild parents. Yes, when the children demand, Mama, I need this, and they start crying. The parents feel, oh, how can I break the heart of my child? Better I will lose and I will make my child win so that his love for me doesn't go away. So although it may look that, okay, go ahead, have your way. I'm always a loser. Let you always win. But the problem with this is that in the course of encouraging the person, it may not actually be beneficial for that person. Yes, that is one part. And the second is internally we will not be happy also, because we will not be satisfied in losing. None of us wants to lose in this world also. Yes, and we always feel my feelings are never heard, my opinions are never considered, and eventually we will have an internal grudge in our relationship, and slowly we will also start becoming fearful. Because I am timid, this fellow may exploit me. So we will try to keep distance, and eventually we'll try to become a loner in our world. And who are certain examples from the scriptures? Dhritarashtra was one such example of a lose-win kind of relationship with Duryodhan. Dhritarashtra was blinded by his material affection for his son. And although he knew many of the plans that he and Duryodhan and Shakuni were making were totally against Dharma, because he wanted to be in the good books of his son Duryodhan and have a loving relationship with Duryodhan, he went on sanctioning for all the wrong things that they did. And what happened? As the saying goes, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Eventually, Duryodhan and all his 100 and all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, including Duryodhan, they all died. And they also became infamous in this world for going against Dharma. Yes. So, in our relationship, we should have maturity. And what is maturity? Maturity means the balance between courage and consideration. Means you should be very courageous to say what is the right thing, but you should at the same time be considerate that it may not be possible for everyone to change immediately, and give them their time and space to change, or be broad enough that even if they don't change, you still keep telling the right things because you love them and don't have any expectation whether they change or not. Yes, just like Vidura. Vidura went on saying the right things to Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra would hear it from this ear and leave it from this ear. But Vidura went on with his responsibilities. He was at the same time courageous to present what was right, and he was considerate, seeing that okay, Dhritarashtra has this weakness, so we'll have to live with his weakness, and we'll have to hope and pray that he overcomes this weakness, like that. So this is the second kind of relationship, lose win. Yes, which is not very healthy also. And the third one is called a lose lose relationship. And this is going to happen when two egomaniacs come together to start some project. Yes. When two people want to always win, and when they come together, none of them are ready to bend, and eventually both of them lose and go. And many times they end up in a war, they end up in conflicts, etc. Sometimes we see some people fighting. Imagine that one of your relative is suffering and is diseased. Now, if there are two people who want to show their superiority of knowledge, they can start arguing. One fellow can say Ayurveda is best, and the other fellow will say, no, 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 Ayurveda is long term. It doesn't solve the problem instantly. Allopathy is better. But the other person may say, hey, Ayurveda has come directly from Lord Dhanvantari. That means it is direct from the Lord. So that only has to be given to the patient, to our relative, not allopathy. And then the other fellow may say, no, but everything has come from Lord. That means even the chemicals have come from Lord. Let us go with allopathy. So in this way, they may go on fighting whether Ayurveda is better or allopathy is better. But eventually the relative may die if no treatment is given. Right? So sometimes we are fanatic, saying only my way has to happen. And in the end, the project is not accomplished at all. So this is the characteristic of a lose-lose mentality, which is certainly not recommended at all. And what is the last one, which is the way we should operate in this world? It is called win-win mentality. And in win-win mentality, what do we seek in? We first look at whether it is mutually beneficial to both of us, whether both of us are satisfied at the end of this interaction. So that is the first thing we have to look at. And the second is, we look at life as a cooperative arena, because we know that each of us need one another, and we don't have any scarcity because we know that there is abundant in this world, right? So when does competition go away? When we feel and when we are convinced that God has created abundant things for every one of us to be happy in this world. To the degree that faith doesn't come into us, we will always have insecurity, insufficiency, scarcity, and competitive mentality. Yes. So we see this as a cooperative arena, and we feel that everyone needs each other. A nice example comes to my mind about cooperative arena. In US, there are the redwood forests or redwood trees. It is said that they are some of the tallest and biggest trees, and very strong also. Even when some huge tornadoes or cyclones come, it is generally, you will see when the cyclones come, the big trees get uprooted. Why? Because they are very sturdy, they don't bend. But you will see that some small plants, they don't fall because they bend. When the wind comes, they bend. But the big trees don't. Right? Sometimes you'll see that these redwood trees, although they are big and strong, they don't break under some natural disasters so easily. And the biologists observed that these redwood trees are gaining its strength not because its roots are very deep. Generally, we expect that when roots of a plant is very deep, it is it is bound to be very strong. But the redwood tree, interestingly, doesn't have very deep roots also. Then how is it able to be so strong and withstand so many calamities of nature? It is because the biologists observed that the redwood trees, two redwood trees, intertwingle their roots with one another. It's like they're holding their hands together. And although their roots have not gone deep enough, because they are holding on to one another, that gives them the strength by which they can withstand any calamities. So this is how we should look at this world. I need each other's help. I'm not an independent person. Therefore, I should try to help others so that they will also, at times of need, we shouldn't have that expectation they will help, but we know that I'm not independent and I'm certainly vulnerable. I need others' help also, like that. That doesn't make us scared, but that makes us realistic, and it makes us come down from overconfidence to true self-confidence. Yes, I can do things. God has given me unique abilities, but at the same time, I'm not perfect and independent. That way. So I'm going to speak on three very important attributes that we need to develop within ourselves in order to have a lasting win-win relationship with each of us. And those three things are, as I said, the first one is we should genuinely ponder upon whether it is mutually beneficial to both of us. It should we should be thinking twice or thrice and list down how many of benefits are there for the other person and how many for me. And preferably, we should always try to see that the other person is more benefited, because then where they will also open up their hearts rather than seeing that I get these benefits and that fellow, okay, he should get only one benefit. We try to mutually benefit each other. Like here in this figure, you see these two donkeys, they're tied like this, and both want to independently get one its own share. They're not willing to cooperate, and both are not able to enjoy, because when this fellow is trying to go towards the left, the other fellow is pulling him. And then finally the donkeys decide, let's both of us share together and eat this up. And once that's done, we'll go to the other fellow and eat it. Eventually we are going to get the same quantity, but we are sharing at every moment we are sharing with each other that way. So in the same way, sometimes, like our devotees, many times we've had this experience. In the mornings, we would like to get up and chant. Sometimes when we are traveling in a train, if we get an upper berth, it becomes difficult for us to chant because we don't have enough space on top of our head to, we don't have enough space to sit erect and chant. And you will see some person in the side lower berth or upper berth. If you look at the side lower berth, that's not as lengthy as the regular berths. There may be some person who's very tall but given a side lower berth, yes, and he's thinking, alas, I want to sleep a lot, but I have to sleep with bending my legs because my height is too much for this seat to accommodate. So then morning when we are awake, we can always request, it seems that you are also struggling to sleep happily. Why don't you go up and sleep comfortably? And we also would like to chant peacefully. Both of us will be benefited. And then that person will be very grateful. Oh, thanks. I'm very thankful that you understood my difficulty. Yes. And he will happily go. But on the other hand, if you just wake him up and say, hey, get up and go upstairs because I want to chant. Although he may know that there is benefit there, but because we haven't even thought of his benefit, we are only looking for our, he may not be willing to. But if we genuinely see in what way asking him to get up will also keep him happy, that will obviously open his heart. Sometimes we have seen that some sometimes when we are sitting in a bus, some old person is coming, we immediately get up and we give that seat. And you will see that the old person will immediately say, can you give me your lunch bag? I can hold it peacefully. Why should you struggle with lunch bag in one hand, your heavy bag also you're holding? Sometimes he may even ask for the bag. I can keep it on my lap. Once you're about to get down, you ask. Yes. So this is how we should see that it is mutually beneficial to both of us. There's another story which comes in the common books like Panchatantra, etc., of the cat and mouse story. Once it so happened that the cat was caught by a hunter, and the cat was struggling in a net, and the hunter had gone to hunt few more animals, and then he thought he'll pick up the cat and then he'll take him as a captive. And in that same forest, very close to where the cat was struggling, there was a rat which had a hole. And the rat saw that the cat is in trouble today. And he was rejoicing. He came out of his hole and he was happily roaming around because he knew that the cat cannot do anything to him. But unfortunately for him, at that very moment, suddenly an eagle came right next to the cat. Right next to a tree, and it was looking exactly at the rat, trying to uh, take him and eat him up. So the rat understood, now I'm in a precarious situation because the eagle is on top of a tree, and the tree is exactly in between the cat's net and the hole. So by the time he moves towards the hole, the eagle can easily catch him and he'll be dead. Now the rat was wondering, what should I do? I should react quickly because it's a question of my life and death. So then the rat understood that let me work together with the cat. So he said, my dear cat, the eagle is eyeing on me, but by the time I run there, I'm sure that he'll eat me up. And I'm seeing that you're also in a difficult situation. I can help you out provided you allow me to take shelter under your body for some time. And then the cat said, sure enough, if you're able to free me from this net, then I don't mind keeping you under my body for some time so that the eagle eventually feels discouraged and the eagle may leave the whole place. And the rat was willing to put its life at stake because it knew that the cat is not going to eat him because the cat needed his help for him to get free eventually. So the rat quickly went under the cat's body. The eagle was waiting for some time. When the rat did not come at all, the eagle understood both of them have made a deal, and the eagle left from that place, discouraged. And then the rat eventually came out and it started helping the cat, started tearing open the net slowly. But the cat was wondering, why is the rat doing this so slowly? So the cat asked, why don't you hurry up? But the rat said, see, I'm not going to free you completely. Then the cat said, but you're not keeping up your promise. You said you'll help me completely. The rat said, I'm going to keep up my promise, but now I'm not going to release you completely. I'm going to wait for the right moment, only then I will release you. And then the cat asked, why are you saying this? Because now let's say I release you, you may eat me up. So I will wait till the point the hunter comes very close to us. And at that last moment, nth moment, I'm going to cut off the remaining knots. So then you will not have any option, because if you try concentrating and catching me, the hunter will catch you. So you will just go in the other direction and I'll go towards the hole. So the cat then said, no, please have trust. I'm not going to do anything like this. But the rat said, no, I'm certainly going to keep up my word and I'll help you in this way. And sure enough, as the hunter came near, the rat broke open the remaining knots and freed the cat. The cat went his way and the rat went in his way. So here you can see is an example where the rat and cat had a win-win relationship. And of course, some students were asking once to one of the devotees, why did the rat do that? Once the eagle went away, the rat could have gone back to the hole. Why did he even think of helping the cat? Although the cat, there's nothing for the rat to lose if he wouldn't have kept his word. But you will see in this world, the nature of this world is the moment you intentionally cause trouble to others or you don't keep up your commitment, karma is arranged in such a way that we get back that reaction many-fold. So knowing this, we always try to keep our commitment to whatever promises or we make. Yes, so that's why the rat, knowing the aspects of dharma, did not want to escape and to actually help the cat, and then in that way both were benefited. So this is how one should see whether there is mutual benefit for both of us. And the second thing which we should look at in our win-win relation is how committed we are towards our promises and relationship, right? We need to have honesty and integrity. In fact, there is a difference between both. Honesty means say what you do. Suppose somebody has copied in the exam. If he says, "Sir, I copied in the exam, I'm sorry," he's an honest fellow. He has done a mistake, but he's openly saying it. So that is honesty. Integrity means trying to keep up our promises. Do what you have said. If you say, "Sir, I'm not going to copy in the exam," then even if the whole assembly of students are going to copy in that exam, you will still not copy because you already promised the teacher. So more difficult than honesty is integrity. Honesty means if you have made a mistake, saying I have made a mistake, that itself is tough for many, but it is more easy. But saying I won't do a mistake and keeping up to that words is even more difficult. And this is what all of us need to try to adopt or imbibe in our lives in order to have lasting win-win relationships. And what are some examples for commitment we can look at in this from the scriptures? Lord Ram's commitment to Dashrath. Yes, he had committed to Dashrath, I'm going to go into the forest for 14 years. After a few months, when Dashrath was dead, Ayodhya Vasis came in search of Lord Ram. Bharat came and they all requested. Kaikeyi herself said, "I only gave you the order, now I'm only taking it back, please come back." And Lord Ram could have very well said, "Yeah, looks like there's nobody to rule Ayodhya, and because all of you are asking me, I feel I should come back." But Lord Ram remained committed to the promises that he had given, whether the person is around or not, right? We have to remain true to the promises what we give to that, we promise that person. So that is Lord Ram's commitment. And if you look at Dronacharya versus Drupada, Dronacharya and Drupada, they were childhood friends, just like Krishna and Sudama were childhood Gurukul friends. But when Sudama was in need, Krishna helped him. And Drupada had promised Dronacharya that when you are in need in future, if at all, you please come to me because I am a king, I will be able to help you. And when Drona was in poverty and he went to ask for Drupada's help, Drupada insulted him. He said, "Oh, in childhood we make so many promises, we can't take that seriously." Anyway, for friendship also, both of us must be of equal status. What is your status? I don't think it's a good match for us. But you're a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya. It's the duty of a Kshatriya to give some charity. So I'll give you some alms, please walk away from this. And Drona felt very insulted and he wanted to take revenge. So once he trained the Pandavas went and captured Drupada. And then Drona said, "Drupada, I'm not going to kill you because I have affection for you. But now, because you are my subordinate and I have taken the whole kingdom, I will give 50% of the kingdom in charity to you. Now both of us are equals. Now let us have friendship together." Like that. So this way, Drona also tried to insult Drupada by, it is said for a Kshatriya, insulting like this is worse than killing him. So in this way, there was no commitment from Drupada's side, and that led to a constant vengeance between Drona and Drupada, and their friendship went away. Right? Same way, Duryodhan's lack of commitment. He had promised the Pandavas the moment their Agyatavas, incognito period is over, if they are unrecognized, he will give back the kingdom. But when the Pandavas requested not for the kingdom but just even for 5 villages, Duryodhan did not live up to his commitment, and then the whole battle of Kurukshetra had to take place. Sometimes businessmen promise, sometimes businessmen say that, "Okay, this land we'll sell for 50 lakhs. I'll make an initial payment now, and in 1 or 2 months I'll complete the payment." And the other fellow also agrees. But by the time 2 months are over, let's say the real estate value has suddenly gone up from 50 lakh to 2 crores. At that time, we should not be thinking, oh, I agreed for 50 lakhs, and then we should not go back on our words. Hey, no, 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 now I cannot give at 50 lakhs, because while we agreed for the deal, we never considered how it will grow, etc. We should be true to our words. But many of us will have two thoughts. Better I cancel the deal, better I tell him some reason and this one. So this kind of commitment should be there. Once we agree, we should go by that. Like, so this is the second thing. So first is genuinely see if it is mutually win-win for both, mutual help. Second is be strong to your commitment. Like Pandavas, every one of the Pandavas in the the Pandava army, right? Everyone was true to their commitment. But in the Kaurava army, everyone had their individual motives. Karna said, I love my friend Duryodhan. But he said, as long as Bhishma is the commander in chief, I will not help. So he did not have any commitment towards his relationship. When Duryodhan was in need, although he was his friend and he wanted to help him, he waited as long as Bhishma is the commander in chief, I will not contribute. Same way, Drona had his own commitment. He said that I will not kill the sons of Pandavas because they are like my children, they are my disciples. So you will see that everyone had their own constraints, but in the Pandavas side, they were willing to give up their own constraints for the noble cause of the entire army. Like Krishna promised never to lift a weapon in the battle, but in order to protect the Pandavas, he said, even if everyone calls me infamous or as a cheater, I'm willing to take that blame, but I want to protect the Pandavas because now they are in real need. So they were looking at the higher cause of the victory of Dharma rather than their own promises and oaths, what they had kept. Because for them, the commitment to a relationship was important than their own individual glory. Rather than me being glorious as a truthful person, uh, if I remain committed to the cause of Dharma because Pandavas are on the side of Dharma, and if I help them, that is more glorious, is what they were feeling. So that is the second part, commitment. And the last part, which is needed, is the blessings of superiors and abundance mentality and cooperation. So unless we have blessings of superiors, however talented we are, we will see that we will never be successful. You will see Karna had the curse of his guru. Therefore, he could not remember the Brahmastra mantra, right? So the curse of a superior will actually not help a person. Same way, Ravana, as soon as he got powers, he started becoming arrogant. And then he started getting curses from many, many people. He tried to uh, abuse one lady called Vedavati, then he got a curse. If you try to forcibly enjoy any other woman, at that very moment you will die. Like that. So he went on getting curses because he always wanted to show off his powers. He was arrogant. But on the other hand, the Pandavas, because of their humility, they got many, many blessings. Like Bhima once went during the Vanavas period to Himalayas because Draupadi wanted 1,000 petal lotus. And there he met Hanuman. And initially Bhima was a little proud, but when he understood that Hanuman is a noble servant of Lord Ram, and he humbled himself in front of Hanuman. And Hanuman, pleased with the humility of Bhima, said, I will be on your flag as on your chariot in your flag, and whenever you're fighting, I will give out a loud cry from the flag, and that cry will cause fear in the hearts of the enemies, and you'll be able to emerge victorious more easily. So he got the blessings. Same way Yudhishthir, because of his humility, he went, fell at the feet of Bhishma, and Bhishma was so pleased with his humility. He asked him, what do you need, my dear child? And what does Yudhishthir ask? Yudhishthir asks, Bhishma, please tell me how to kill you. And Bhishma tells him how to kill. So this is what humility can do. If we please the superiors will give such secrets and such truths which are so easy for us to realize and achieve that with our own competence we may not be able to achieve at all. Same way with Arjuna. Arjuna pleased his father Indra during the Agyatavas, and he got Indra's chariot, celestial weapons. Arjuna pleased the superior Lord Shiva, got Pashupatastra. So in this way, those people who humble themselves in front of more advanced souls, they get lot of blessings, and that blessings will take them closer to success. And also those people who understand the importance of cooperation, they also will succeed. Just like in the Samudra Manthan Leela, the Devatas were told by Lord Vishnu, you have to cooperate with the demons. The demons may not be very, very straightforward. They may do things which you may not like, but still you have to cooperate with them. And finally, when the Amrit came, the demons actually snatched the Amrit and went away. But still, the Devatas had faith in the words of Vishnu and they cooperated. And eventually, Lord helped because they were following the right things as instructed by Lord. So, these are the three things what we need to see within our every relationship if we want it to be win win. Try to always look for the benefit of others by looking for your own benefits. Try to be loyal and try to live up to your commitments what you have given, and always understand the importance of cooperation, and understand that this world has abundance. If that fellow gets something, still I will get mine because Lord has created sufficient. And understand the importance of blessings of superiors, because with their blessings so many difficult things can also be easily achieved. And finally, as we also said that uh, the uh, understand that this world is a place where everyone needs each other. Yes, so we are all interdependent. So with this, I think I'll stop my presentation. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. There are many more things which we can discuss from the scriptures, but now I think we should leave some time at least for question and answers. So, Kanak Prabhu, anything you would like to?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for such an enlightening class, Prabhuji. I would just like to thank you on behalf of all of us for giving us so much depth of knowledge from the scriptures. Now, Prabhuji, I would like to present to you some questions that are asked by our devotees, participants list. Before that, I would like to also encourage all the participants to join the online Gita course. Who are willing to attend Gita course on weekdays, you can join the online Gita course. The link to that is given in the chat box. Other than that, also please do not forget to like our Facebook page and Instagram page. The links are given in the chat box. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more spiritual content and regular updates. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Now we can begin with the questions, Prabhuji. Shall I start, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please. I will try to answer whatever I have
Yes, Prabhuji.
understood. Yes.
Okay. Prabhuji, so first question is asked by uh, Deepak R. He
Yes.
is asking, if everything we need is given by the Lord, why should we offer the same things back to the Lord? Instead, present it to the needy people. Why should we not look into the one in need and see God in his happiness?
Yes. So it's a common question. Many of them ask, is why should we offer anything to the Lord? In fact, there was a big article some years ago in the Udupi Pejavar Swami. He presented a costly diamond crown to um, the deity Krishna, Udupi Krishna deity, and there was so much of cry over that. So many articles came when so many people are needy and they're suffering there. Why instead of pleasing them, he has spent such a amount on uh, just a deity or an idol or a stone. So Pejavar Swami gave this answer. He said that firstly, why we should offer things to God, because in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, unless the Lord is pleased in this world, there are many things which are not under our control. We are not in control of the rains. We are not in control of the grains, right? The farmer may sow the seed hoping that it will rain properly and hoping that the land will be fertile and hoping that elephant will not come and eat away the grains or damage the grains. So we are independent of, so we are dependent on so many factors which are controlled by God. Now, is God a cruel master? Certainly no. God is very, very loving. But you will see that in this world, just like in our own case, if you ask your mother, Mama, give me 500 rupees, the mother may say, I'm okay to give you 500 rupees, but are you willing to listen to your father? If you say, hey, my father, he's a useless fellow, why should I listen to him? I will never obey him. You just give me my 500 rupees. I want to enjoy. What will the mother do? The mother may give you a tight slap and say, nothing doing. Yes. Same way, the scriptures say, God is our father and mother is our, nature is our mother. So, nature or the mother will provide enough things in this world to the degree people learn to listen to the father called God. That is why you will see some 100,000 years ago in our India, gold used to be sold on streets so easily available. Why? Because the country was more God conscious and nature was giving more and more things in abundance. But now, because people are becoming more and more against godly life, what is happening? Even to find drops of water is difficult. You dig 200 feet, 300 feet, sometimes you don't even get borewell water. You only get dry air that way. So, therefore, it is very, very essential to first please Lord. And how do we please Lord? By offering something. Srila Prabhupada said, imagine you take all things from your father and then your father's property, everything, and then you give your father one small thatched hut and don't provide him food. Certainly it's not right. Same way, when God is giving so many things, it is our duty to, out of love and gratitude, or at least out of duty, say, Lord, I thank you, I know you don't need anything else, but still this is my courtesy, right? At least as courtesy we should offer something to Lord. And for the needy people, we are certainly not against offering things to the needy people, but you should make sure, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said charity can be in three modes. It can be in Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna. Let's say I give free education to a needy poor person, but I do not train him in spiritual principles. And even if I try to train him, let's say he's not at all interested and he gets a very good education. Now, because he's not rooted in spiritual principles, tomorrow, let's say my charity made him become a very expert technologist or scientist, and eventually he starts becoming a terrorist, doing some nefarious activities to the country, or he starts doing some crime, etc. So certainly my charity is of no use. So therefore the scriptures say, when giving charity, along with giving charity to this body in the form of food, education, clothing, etc., don't forget to give the spiritual aspect in charity. Therefore you will see the devotees in ISKCON, we follow a norm. We try our best that if possible, whenever we carry prasadam, because when beggars come, we offer prasadam to them and we tell them chant Hare Krishna, because if we give them money, sometimes they may end up smoking, drinking, doing whatnot. I also incur karma, neither is it beneficial for him. So we give them some prasad and we tell them chant Hare Krishna. In case we have not taken any prasadam, carried any prasadam with us, we give them some change, but we tell them chant Hare Krishna once and then we will give you this, because that one utterance of holy name, we are having some hope that it will slowly change his heart, and even if he wants to do some wrong activity, that will slowly reduce by chanting the holy names. Now, why we need to do things for Lord? So Pejavar Swami replied, see, this country's prime minister has country spends so much on what, on security for the prime minister. Like some years back when Bill Clinton was coming to Delhi, the entire Delhi was repainted just because one small president of the world's biggest country was arriving. Now if the US president needed that much of respect, that much of uh, reception, then what to speak of the Supreme Lord who is giving us all things for which we should be grateful to? So we shouldn't be ungrateful, thinking that, okay, Lord doesn't need anything, so I'm not going to give. Just like our parents also don't ask anything from us. That doesn't mean we say, oh, parents, anyway, you don't need anything, I'm not going to bother about you. We still give them something, right? If you're doing that to a parent, we'll also have to do that to God. And now, what about those hungry, needy people if we spend lakhs together on temples? So the answer is, see where all we are spending so much. We are spending so much on film fair festivals. We are spending so much on IPL and other things just for entertainment. When we spend so much money for such things, nobody is making a point that so many poor people are suffering. Why are you not giving them money? Why should you have this film fair? Why should you have this party? Of what use it is? That time nobody is thinking. But only when we try to give something to God, hundreds of people start asking, why should we give to God? Although God is giving everyone the breathing space. In biology, you will understand, scientists still today haven't understood that the first step in respiration is the diaphragm has to contract. If the diaphragm has to contract, it needs some energy to contract. And only after respiration we get energy. Now, how is the diaphragm first getting the energy to energy to dilate? No, it will come down. That's when the pressure in the lungs become low. Scientists have no clue. The Vedas say that Lord is the one who's giving the prana vayu shakti to the atma, by which all these things are happening, right? And for a moment, if the prana vayu is removed, we can't even be functional. It is said, in order to digest one morsel of food, the amount of industries needed to digest one morsel of food is a chain of industries almost 3 kilometers long. And the energy that these industries will spend on digesting that morsel of food and giving back energy is more than what final energy we get after the digestion of food. So that means the processes involved in digestion consumes more energy than the energy that it can produce. But still, in our body, digestion is going on and we get energy. So from where is that additional energy coming? We are not having a 3 kilometer long industry which is inefficient, that the final output is lesser than the energy spent by the industry. Who is giving that Shakti? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham Vaishvanara Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Prana Apana Samayukta Pachamyannam Chaturbhujam. I am that fire present as Jataragni in everyone who's digesting that food and giving energy to the living entity. So in every walk, at every moment, when Lord is doing so many things to us, it is naturally our responsibility to give back something to Him. Yes. So we are not saying don't help the needy, but that cannot happen at the cost of not giving to God. If you want to cut down on expenses, cut down on partying, cut down on film fair, IPL, etc., and then give that to the needy, not on God. That is what we say.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you
Yes.
very much, Prabhuji, for your answer. Prabhuji, our next question is asked by a student from Arjuna Academy, Sagar Prabhu. Prabhuji is appreciating, he really liked the point where you told that Shiva's family, although all of them are of opposite nature, still they don't fight the animal. So Prabhuji was adding to that point. He's telling that also Lord Vishnu is sleeping on serpent bed and his carrier is Garuda.
Yes.
They don't fight.
True. Yes.
And Prabhuji has a question. His question is, if Krishna created everything, then who created Krishna?
Oh,
That's his first question. And second question is, he is asking just a small question that by sincere chanting of Hare Krishna, can one really experience Swarga?
Oh, yes. Okay. So, yes. So, first question is, if everything was created by God, who created God? Common question. Why we ask this question is because we are always thinking in terms of time and space. So, for us, everything must have a beginning, everything must have an end, and everything must have some present. But the definition of God, which the Vedanta Sutra gives, which Bhagavatam gives, is Janmad Yasya Yataha. He is that person from whom everything else emanates. And why is he called God? Because the attributes of God is he is completely knowledgeable of everything, fully cognizant, he is fully independent, he is never under control of anybody or anything at any point of time, or even if he wants to be under control, it is by his own sweet will. So these are the characteristics or attributes of God. Now, the definition of God is beyond time and space. He doesn't have a beginning. Because if he had a dimension called time controlling him, then that time is supposed to be called God, not he. Right? God is not bound by time. Neither is God bound by space. And therefore, the question that who created God is coming because we always have the conception of time. Yes, Einstein also said that you go on different dimensions, there are higher dimensions available. Yes, and he said that probably when you go at speed of light, everything will be a constant. But beyond speed of light, the scriptures say the speed of mind is more than the speed of light. And it is said, Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayo ratapi manasa munipungavana. It is said that even if you go at the speed of mind for shatavatsara koti, if you go for 100 crore years, you will still not be able to fathom where this universe is ending. And that is the nature of God's creation. It is so huge, gigantic, and God is so supreme that one can even fathom the place where the universe is ending. So God is certainly beyond time and space. So he is always ever existent because time is not under his control, rather he controls time. And in this world, Lord Krishna, when he displayed his pastimes, he actually proved how he is the supreme Lord and how he is beyond time and space. And how did he do that? To show the world that he is not controlled by space or bound by space, he created this wonderful Leela called the Damodar Leela. When Mother Yashoda tried to bind him, she was finding that the rope was always 2 inches short or 2 fingers short. She took some more rope. It is not that Krishna's body expanded or the rope contracted. Everything was in its place, but still the rope was 2 fingers short. And Yashoda couldn't comprehend this. So infinity to infinity, you try to add any finite number, it will still remain that from infinity you subtract any finite number, it will be infinite. So that's how Lord was. And Lord was never bound by infinite rope. And then finally, when the Lord agreed to be bound, seeing the hard work of his devotee, that is when she could bind. So Lord proved that how he is beyond space in this world. Same way he proved how he is beyond time also. How he is beyond time. It is said that the 6 sons of Devaki, Devaki had a desire that they were dead, right? Devaki wanted to see them back alive. So he went back in time and brought the dead living entities back. He went to Yamaloka and brought back the 6 children. And pleased his mother Devaki. So in this way, Lord can control time. Lord is beyond space. So therefore, Lord has no this one, no beginning. And the next question: by sincere chanting of Hare Krishna, can we feel bliss? Yes. The proof is so many devotees are chanting. In this world, you will see that a movie song after some time becomes hackneyed, right? You will not go on singing the same movie song again and again. But all of us have had this experience. You may be chanting the same Vishnu Sahasranam, you may be chanting the same Hanuman Chalis, but you will never feel bored after some time. You will not say that I need some remix now, Hey Ram, Hey Krishna. No, we go on chanting the same mantra. And what is the proof? The proof is look at the pure devotees who have if you look at in this world, anybody who's attracted to some object, after some time, he will either change his object of attraction or he'll become bored with that object. But there is only one category of people who never get bored with their activities. Who are they? They are the pure devotees of Lord. They never ask for anything else. You go to the temple of Tirupati, go to the temple of Sri Rangam, you ask them, why are you taking this much trouble? Your salary is meager. You come to our city, we'll give you better salary. They'll say that no, we are very completely satisfied here. But in this world, you will see that even if you are deriving a very high intellectual happiness by solving some tough IIT questions, etc., you will not be able to do that day in and day out. You'll say, at least one day, give me some break. I need some free time, right? Because intellectual happiness will give you very high happiness, but after some time, you will not. You want to experience some other change. But there's only one happiness where people can go on doing that without any change, and that is the spiritual happiness. And the scriptures give us a promise. Although initially, while chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we may feel that it is very tough. Just like a person who has a jaundice disease, the Ayurveda says for jaundice disease, the medicine is the sugarcane juice. But the problem is because we are diseased with jaundice, when we drink the sugarcane juice doesn't appear tasty and sweet. But go on drinking the sugarcane juice, eventually the disease will be cured and we will be able to relish the sweetness of the sugarcane juice. Same promise is given in the scriptures. With great respect and regularity, go on chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and we will find that our hearts become transformed and we become happy. In fact, that was the greatest thing which gave me faith, because in NIT Surathkal, in my first year when I was doing my engineering, I saw my seniors who were just 1 year senior to me. That means they were chanting Hare Krishna mantra just for 1 year. And previous 18 years they had led a life just like me, an ordinary life. But that 1 year of chanting Hare Krishna had caused such tremendous change in their consciousness. Then I thought this is a very powerful process. If in 1 year of continuous chanting, they were able to get that much of happiness and change their lives, that means it's a very reliable process. That is what inspired me, not the Prahalad Maharaj, etc. Because Prahalad all are great devotees, but when we see somebody who's just 1 year senior to us, but with 1 year of practice has changed, that gives us a lot more faith. So that gave me a lot of faith actually in my life. Any other question, Kanak Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. I think Sagar Prabhu is happy with the answers. Prabhuji has some more questions. He can ask you personally, Prabhuji.
Yes.
He's suggesting that.
Okay.
Prabhuji, there are a few more questions, but we have very limited time. So I will
Yes.
take only a few selected questions.
Yes. Yes.
Prabhuji, one question is by Krish Dhankar.
Yes.
So he is asking, is our karma also controlled by Lord Krishna? Because our karma is, when we are doing karma, how is our karma in our hands? Because Lord is under control of everything. So is our karma also under his control, our activity?
No, our activities, we are given free will, because why does the Lord give us free will? Sometimes they ask, why can Lord not force us to always do the right thing? Because Lord wants to experience loving relationship with us. And when you want love to be experienced between two people, you have to give them freedom. In the movies, you may see that a villain may say, hands up, or he may say to the heroine, tell me I love you. And the heroine may out of fear say, I love you, just to save her life, but she has no love. And Lord never wants to experience such a kind of love. So Lord gives us the freedom, but he says, if you do a wrong thing, you will be punished, because that will cause trouble to you and to others. And therefore, I have this law of karma. So based on what we do, Lord gives reactions accordingly. And just like in this world also, if somebody is reforming, the judge may remove his punishment or reduce his punishment. Same way Krishna promises in the Bhagavad Gita that even if you're having a very bad karma that you have to suffer a lot, but if you surrender to Krishna completely, Krishna says, I will try to reduce the suffering, because I'm seeing that you're going on the right track. And as long as you're going on the right track, I will keep holding that karma and not give as much suffering. And if throughout life you have led the right path, then I'll in the end make it zero. But in between, after some time, again, if you're going on the wrong path, then again I'll release a little bit of karma, like that. So Krishna says that aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami mahasucha. I will take away all your karmic reactions if you surrender completely to me. That way. So yes, next one.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the answer, Prabhuji. Next question is by Priti Saha. She is asking, Prabhuji, if God loves us and if he is really our well-wisher, then why are people suffering hunger and poverty in the world?
Yes. So the common question: how can Lord be loving if so many people are suffering? So just that's because we think that this life is all in all. Imagine that I have a bag, and in the bag initially I put some dirty things, and later on I start putting good things in the bag. Now when I start removing things from the bottom of the bag, initially I will get dirty things. Now you shouldn't be surprised, sir, but I'm putting good things now. Why is dirty things coming? Because I was the one who once upon a time put dirty things there. So why are people suffering in this world? They are suffering, or we are also suffering in this world, although we may be doing good in this life, because some of the reactions of our previous life, if our actions were bad, we may have to suffer for that also. Even in this world, you will see certain actions will give you immediate reactions, certain actions will give you prolonged, after a prolonged period of time only, reactions. Like if you eat dirty stale food, next day in the bathroom itself you will have a loose motion, immediate reaction you will get. But if you smoke a cigarette continuously, it's not that next day you will get lung cancer. You go on smoking 10 years, 15 years, one fine day you'll realize that I've got lung cancer or I'm going to die, etc. So you did bad actions, we did bad action, but some of the times we get it instantly. Sometimes we may get after some time. Sometimes people murder some people, and with influence of politics, money, etc., they may be trying to avoid police punishment also. So where will they suffer? They will suffer in their next life because they did not undergo any prayaschitta or atonement for their wrong things. Yes, so that is why people are suffering. So how to remove them of their suffering? Help them through their material needs also, but don't forget to give them the spiritual part, because if you give them only the material things, again they may do some wrong thing and suffer next life also. Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I hope you are satisfied, Preeti. The final question, Prabhuji, is by Dhruv. He is asking, sir, when people know that the great epics are real and actually occurred, then why are they behind finding proofs? Say the epic are made up stories. Say if the epics are made stories, can we actually find any proof?
Oh yes, so you can attend this course also, or you can be in touch with our IYF devotees. In National Geographic, there are enough proofs for remnants of nuclear kind of wars being fought over Kurukshetra, and even the Dwaraka excavations of 16,000 palaces. Right, many remnants are found. So these are all things which give us faith. From the satellite, it is seen that the Ram Setu is visible. Yes. So these are things which give us faith. And the most important way how initially we can have faith that all these epics are true is just from what we know, we can extrapolate what we don't know. You look at any scientific things that are discussed in the Vedas. The Vedas talk about the distance between sun and moon. The Vedas talk about various aspects of mathematics, embryology, etc. And modern science is also concurring to the same conclusions which Vedas were loudly proclaiming millions of years ago. So if those things which Vedas have been speaking, which are proven by modern scientists currently, with advancement in technology, even the antimatter substances like spiritual things, if science does advance, they may come closer to it. Or even if science isn't able to, my faith in the Vedas will be more strong, because whatever Vedas have said have never gone wrong or never been proven wrong by any scientist over a period of time. So
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the answer. There's just one more question. This question is very special, Prabhuji. This question is asked by the sister of our Hareesh Prabhu. Hareesh Prabhu is a student from NITK. Prabhuji,
okay.
Hareesh Prabhu is really very much inspired from you. He writes that you are an inspiration as to how, even though you are CEO of Arjuna Academy, still you are so humble and you are maintaining a very simple life, Prabhuji. The question of Hareesh Prabhu's sister is that since you are in working in corporate world, we have to work in groups. So because when we work in groups, sorry, Prabhuji, 1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah, my question is that while working in group, cooperation among us is very, very difficult. What should we do to have good cooperation among us?
Yes. So first step is we from our side uh, should be humble. We should take the first step to always listen to others and take their opinion and try out. So generally, what we have experienced is when two people are fighting over an opinion, saying this has to be done or this way we have to do. If it's a fight amongst which opinion is correct. So one easy way of doing it is we can first submit to the other person's opinion, try it out for some time, and then let us evaluate whether the results are actually beneficial. If the results aren't, then we should also tell them be broad-minded to try out my suggestion also, and then let us compare both these things, and whichever gives us better results for the overall good, we can accept that. Now, cooperation in the outside world, many times outside world people, you will see, may sometimes they may be very calculative, they may be very they may be very selfish, etc. But one common thing you will see in any living being is that to the degree we are genuine in our speech, in our actions, slowly their hearts may open up. And Lord has made this world in such a way that even if they don't cooperate, let's say I am cooperating. For example, there is one common story which we tell. Let's say that there was once a saint who was walking on the seashore, and it was a hot sunny day, and there was a scorpion which was struggling on the hot sand. So then the saint thought, he took pity on the scorpion and thought, let me put him back in water so that he won't feel the scorching heat. So when he tried to help the scorpion stung the saint, and it again went back to the sand struggling. So the saint thought, my dear, the scorpion is struggling. So he thought of helping him again, and he tried to take him up again. And again, the scorpion bit him and started roaming on the hot sand, struggling. And when the third time he was about to help, his disciple asked him, hey, why are you so foolish? You're seeing that whatever help you're doing, that fellow is not ready to respond and reciprocate. Why are you unnecessarily taking such trouble? And you know what the saint said? The saint said, it is the dharma of the scorpion to cause trouble to others. And it is the dharma of the saint to always do good to others. If the scorpion is determined to not give his dharma up, why should I give up my dharma? I will continue doing good to the scorpion. And of course, one final time he pushed it way deep into the sea, and then he started walking. And sure enough, the scorpion would not have changed. It would have again come back. But there was one more fellow who got changed. And who was he? He was his disciple. Same way in this world, we should have faith that sometimes when we are doing good to others, the other fellow may not be reciprocating to us at all. But we should know for sure that the world is designed in such a way that somebody else will get inspired and he will really start cooperating and helping us, and he'll become a good friend of us. So that is one way of looking at it. And another way, if somebody you're trying to help them, but they are always causing trouble to you. So if your situation demands that you have to be in the same team and you have to go on working, yes, what are practical things you can do? One is you can tell the manager first that, sir, would you mind changing me to some other team? I'm uncomfortable because we don't gel together. But if he says, no, you have to do this project together, then uh, if you see that it's always a difficulty, then you should understand that I am just reaping the results of my own karma, because I am not causing any trouble to him, and there's no other way I can escape from this, because I've asked the boss, I've done all possibilities. I've tried to also tell him that I'm your friend. That fellow is also not able to understand, and still he's behaving in the same way with me. So then just tolerate it. That's what Krishna told Arjuna. Sometimes you just have to tolerate it in this material world, because we're just reaping our own karma. Let that phase go away, and then we will be in a better position. But if we do something wrong, then we incur newer and newer karma. Not that you should not take any action. Do all possibilities, try to change the team, try to work independently, but still, if it is a matter that you have to come together, then you should finally understand, probably I'm reaping the results of my own karma. I will go on doing my dharma properly, and it is left to the Lord to decide how to get me out of this situation. And prayers will help. Yes, have faith that God is watching and pray. Prayers go up, blessings will come down. Surely, we should not stop praying when you are in difficulty, because Lord is a person. He hears every one of our prayers and he responds also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for answering all our questions, Prabhuji. I would like to thank Hareesh Prabhu for giving his valuable time and enlightening us so much with this deep spiritual knowledge. I would also like to thank the ICC management and the IYF South Bangalore team who are making this Corona lockdown Prerana programs possible for all of us. And finally, I would also like to thank all the participants for your patient hearing and for wonderful questions. Please, if your questions are not answered, I would like to tell that I have noted down all your questions, and please attend the further sessions. Your questions will surely be answered. It's due to my error or lack of time that we are not able to answer your questions. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. The links are given in the chat box. And those who are interested in joining the Gita course that happens on weekdays, you can do so through the chat message. You can join the WhatsApp group.
Names of the sessions also for them?
Yes, Prabhuji. If you join the chat group, they'll also get the session news.
Okay, all right. So especially the students of Arjuna Academy from 10th standard, 10th going to 11th, first PU, you have a lot of free time now. Please try to attend this. It will help you a lot. And those who are passing out or 12th standard, if you can manage, it's a 6-session course. How many sessions?
Prabhuji, the Gita course?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. 6 session only, but it will be covered in multiple settings.
Multiple settings. So on weekends, Sundays, as usual, or on Sundays?
Weekdays, Prabhuji. These online Gita courses are weekdays.
Okay. So whoever can, please do attend. It will certainly benefit you a lot. All right. Okay, Kanak. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So about the Gita course, it will be a 15-day course, which will be for 15 minutes, around 15 days, sorry, half an hour every day. So all devotees can attend if they have time. The link is in the chat. You can join the group. Hare Krishna.